Hey guys, Jared Wesley here of Live Traders, and you know what? One of the most important things that you have to understand about successful trading is the word integrity. Okay, if you don't have it, you will never be a great trader. Okay, it is absolutely unequivocally required of you to be a great trader. You see, in life we have lots of different consequences, right? Hey, don't speed, you'll get a speeding ticket, etc., and so forth. Those things are very, very, very important for society. Okay, however, when it comes to trading, it's just you and the market. Okay, you may not have a boss in trading, but you have a master. And the master is the market, okay? And if you don't respect your master will slap you. Now, I know that sounds cliche and it sounds crazy, but it's true, okay? The good part is you have a very forgiving master, okay? If you make a mistake today, you'll have another opportunity to correct that mistake tomorrow, okay? But every single successful trader that I have ever met has integrity. The integrity to do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it, no matter how difficult it is. No matter how much emotional duress or stress or pain they are under, they do the right thing at the right time when they're supposed to do it. That is it. That's integrity. Okay? The question is, are you? Can you? Will you? Don't talk about it, right? I always tell people, look, don't tell me what you think, show me what you do. So today, guys, I have a little bit of a longer lecture, and it's all about integrity. Do you have it? Well, stick around and find out. Guys, before I get into this lecture today, look, if you want to be a very good trader, all right, there's a lot of things that you need to do. One of the big things, obviously, is experience. You need real market, real world trading experience. But before you get that experience, it's always smart to start off on the right foot. And that right foot means getting the proper mentorship, the proper training, and the proper education, okay? Something like a live trader's education, a live trader's mentorship, a live trader's training. Why? You guys watch these YouTube videos and like, wow, that's a lot of great information. Imagine what the actual paid for content looks like. Professional trading strategies, trading plan essentials, the trade tracking spreadsheet, the options course, etc., and so forth. All these things are part of the live trader's suite that we have here. And yes, these YouTube lectures and videos are wonderful, but if you want to really be a great trader, make sure you get off on the right foot. Every great successful person has some form of mentor or some form of trainer or coach, etc., from Michael Jordan to Tiger Woods to even business people, okay? So it's just something to think about, guys. Also, if you like these videos, man, do a brother a favor, click that like button, hammer that subscribe button, all right? There's a lot of great content and great information here, and I want to be able to provide it for you guys in the future, all right? So let's get to the lecture. This week's lecture topic is integrity, doing the right thing, even when it's hard. Okay, integrity is a word that we throw around a lot, and it's a word that we throw around a lot talking about other people, usually in the negative sense. Oh, that person doesn't have any integrity. They lack integrity. The problem with this word is that we like to use it with others, but we don't like to think about it when it comes to ourselves. When you look in the mirror, you know deep down inside if you did the right thing or the wrong thing. It's just we very often have high opinions of ourselves, or we don't want our egos to be bruised, and therefore we lie or do something foolish to try to make ourselves look better, when in reality we should have just said, I'm sorry, it was my fault, or yes, I did that, I was wrong. But we just don't, okay? This leads or lends itself into trading because you're sitting there, tell me I'm wrong, and you're sitting there with your finger on the button, and you're sitting telling yourself, literally telling yourself, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. And then you do it anyway. That lacks integrity. Okay, so that's the topic we're going to talk about today. It's a little bit longer than some of the other lectures I've done more recently, but I think it's an important lesson nonetheless. And it's odd and interesting that this week's When Will the Insanity Stop also happens to deal a little bit with integrity. It's honestly just coincidental. It just fits well. So sometimes you wonder if people are really just kidding or joking online, or if they're serious, I'm going to take this next "when will the insanity" comment as serious. But maybe they were kidding. I don't know, but it's not really funny. The victim mentality never wins. Okay. Strategic update. I lost 50K in BBBY, and it's your fault. Now, again, possibly this person is just unloading, frustrated, getting a lot off their chest. I don't know. But if they are actually serious about what they've written here, then you almost feel bad for somebody like this. Do you know what I mean? Stop and think, this is your fault. Anyone reading this now, you are the cause of my misfortune. I have been misled time and time again. At first, the sub was flooded with factual posts that whoever that person is can't sell. While they were removed, these posts tricked me into buying. Wow. Very fascinating. Again, when you read it, it kind of sounds like this person's serious. But this is an area that you don't ever want to occupy. Trust me when I say it. The victim area in your brain, that side, that part of your brain, is an area you don't ever want to occupy. You want to leave that alone, lock away, throw away the key, and never even look at it. Okay, there is nothing ever helpful about playing the victim. Ever. Even at times in life when you are actually a victim, it does you no good to play the victim. Okay? So again, if this person is serious about what they've written, then shame on you. Buy a mirror. Look into that mirror. None of those other people, factual posts, tricked, whatever it is, none of them actually push the button for you on BBBY. None of them. All right. This harkens me back, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, but this harkens me back to 2007 and 8 when people were think about this for a second. Really give this some thought. Okay. Seriously for a moment. Give it some thought. Back when people were blaming the banks for giving them too much money to buy a house. They should have never let me do that. Huh? They should have never let you. You're a freaking adult. An adult. Okay? You make all your decisions. Just because the bank says you can doesn't mean you should. But it's the bank's fault. It's the bank's fault. Oh my goodness gracious. Talk about a loser's mentality. No, you chose to take out that size of a loan, knowing damn well that no doc loan you took out was fake. You wrote you make 200 grand a year and you know you only make 75, but you wanted that house. You just had to have it. And then you blame the bank for saying they let me do it. They just let me do it. Oh. Get over yourselves, man. You did this to yourself. Everything we do to ourselves. So in this particular case, this person lacks a significant amount of integrity. And anyone who ever uses the word, the bank let me do this, it's their fault, you lack integrity as well. Did you not fill out the paperwork? Were you not part of the process? You knowingly lied, and now you're blaming them. Why? Because they believed your lie? It's hilarious to me. But anyway, this is sad. Don't ever put yourself in this position. This mental frame of mind is cancer. It's mental cancer, okay? And it will inflict all different parts of your life. Now, let's move on. So, what do you guys think here, okay? When you look at this chart, all right, and again, some of these charts are a little bit older, okay? They're a couple years old, some of them. When you look at this chart, what do you see? Talk to me. What do you guys see on this chart here? All right, when you look at it. Do you see something that's of potential interest? Do you see something that is of no interest? What's the general consensus here when you look at this chart? Scott W. says it's a move on chart. PS says it's a double bottom retest. Felix says it's a higher low. Okay. And everyone else is just scared. Ollie says no interest. Okay, I think it's more likely to continue higher than lower at that time. Okay, all right. Double bottom retest plus a higher low. I like Vic's answer. Double bottom retest plus a higher low, but needs a little more information. This chart is actually kind of interesting. Right now, remember, we're on a 1 minute chart here, and we don't have the daily in front of us, all that other stuff. So we're taking this for what we have in front of us, okay? This is a stock that obviously gapped up and sold off into some form of support, bounced, retested, and bounced. These two bars are pretty significant. This wide range red bar that was unable to hold, and this wide range red bar that was unable to hold. So clearly we can see down at the $27 area that buyers were serious about stepping up, right? They were very serious about stepping up. They did it once here and took out the red bar. Even though we broke the low by a little, they did it again over here. And then after doing this twice, not once, but twice, you have to start giving a little bit of credence now that it didn't happen once, it happened twice. It bounced up and put in a higher high, and then it ultimately put in a higher low, and that higher low was relatively clean, right? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, bottoming tail, doji bar, 50% retracement. So when you look at this, the general commentary has to be, if you're a technical trader, buyers are making a larger impact than sellers. Now, over here, obviously and clearly, the sellers were in complete and utter control on the left-hand side, right? But once you put in this double bottom and a higher high and a higher low, you have to start looking at what? Possibly higher prices. Because this pullback is relatively smooth on the left, which means once we get above the congestion, let's call it 2760, let's call that the congestion, okay? Once you get above that area, you have to think the move above 2760 should be smoother than the move below it because there's a lot of chop here. But when you look at this stock is battle tested. The one thing I think we probably mostly, or if not all, agree upon is the low has likely been set for today. Again, we're not talking about tomorrow or next week. The low has likely been set on this, okay? So now it's giving you what looks to be an opportunity to potentially go long. So for me, what I would like to see here is I'd like to see these bottoming tails move higher back into 28 bucks, right here, and then pull back to 27.60 and give me a possible entry, buy set up entry, right? That would be ideal. Let's move on. Why? I have a lot of slides. What ultimately happens here? Pretty much that. Not exactly that, but pretty much that, right? We didn't get to 28 bucks. We got to 27.80, 27.83. We pulled back a little below there, and then we just went higher, right? And this is a very common theme that I want you guys to get used to. Anytime you see a stock tested this strongly and it takes out these red bars right here, these two are the specific ones I'm referring to, bounces up, puts in a higher high and a higher low and another higher high, likely the trend has changed here. Okay, now over here, this is hard to take. You probably wouldn't take it till you got to 27.80. And I don't have a problem if people want to hold off here. But once you see this area here from 9.40 to 10.10 or whatever that is, the bottom has been set here. You may not want to trade this, and that's okay. But the bottom has been set. Let's move on. Again, I'm going to move on some of these quick because we have a lot of slides to get through. Okay. Disney, all right. Small gap up, consolidates in the pre-market, okay, and then we get a big green bar, probably some news in the pre-market. So anyway, we look at this. Stock consolidates, and the market opens. What are you guys thinking here? Remember, everything you're seeing is pre-market. Everything that's not blue is pre-market, okay? Consolidates, moves up, consolidates right near the 114 area. Waiting for a pullback, long over 114. So let me ask Berto a question. You said waiting for a pullback. What are you waiting for? Meaning it's consolidated now for, I don't know, an hour, roughly an hour. It's not a long enough period of rest for you that you need a pullback. Now, I could understand if you wanted to break out, then pull back. But this breakout, remember, we have two types of corrections, right? A correction through price and a correction through time. This is clearly a time correction and one that lasted a very long time, okay? So when you think about it, yeah, in my opinion, it has rested a long enough period of time to make this an acceptable breakout, right? An acceptable breakout on Disney here. And it's at or near a whole number. So where we go, bam, Disney pretty much did what it should do. Now, the negative on Disney was when we go to the daily and we see that it's third day up. But where it's gapping to is actually pretty nice. The only kind of small issue is where it was gapping from. This is a stock that over a 2-day period was up about 10%, about 5% each day, give or take, and then we gap up about 5%. But this is textbook. When we talk about pre-market breakouts, this is, my goodness gracious, like that's exactly the result you would want to have happen to this. Okay, you get a beautiful pre-market consolidation over a lengthy period of time, about an hour and a half here in a narrow, tight range. You're probably looking at a 50 to 75 cent stop here, and then the thing goes nearly $6. Okay, so these are pretty decent charts. All right, and you're like, okay, that's nice, Jared. Don't worry, it'll all make sense. Yeah, probably 113. It'll all make sense. Just got to give it some time. Integrity. What does it mean for a trader? Well, integrity in general means doing the right thing, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And it's that last part that's the challenge. Doing the right thing, okay, most of us are familiar and aware of what the right thing is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And that's the part we all have a problem with. This is when lies happen. This is when we do things perhaps we shouldn't do. Okay? And without integrity, you are nothing in this world. Right? You know how it's like my word is my bond, let's shake on it, that kind of a thing. And the reason I'm commenting on this is, it's one thing to have integrity with dealing with other people, right? But if you can't have integrity with yourself when you're alone in a room, that's far worse. There's nothing worse than cheating yourself. It's one thing when someone cheats you, but when you cheat yourself, there's no worse feeling in the world, okay? So, let's take a look. Ever do any of these things? Now, be honest. Ever flip someone off while you're driving, even though you cut them off? Ever happen? I don't know. It's happened to me. Okay, people have cut me off and flicked me off. I've had it happen to me. It's weird, though, isn't it, when everyone's like, yeah, it's happened to me, but I've never done that. Well, what about all the people that have done it? Where are they at? They're not to be found, are they? They're just magically disappeared. Everyone can tell us a story how it's happened to them, but they don't ever remember doing it to someone else. It's fascinating how the mind works, okay? Ever take a few extra, this is a funny one, you ever go to like It's Sugar or something? Ever take a few extra pieces of candy to try, despite the sign saying no samples, please? Has you ever done that? No, never. I've never done that. Just please put the lie detector test away because I'm not ready to take it yet. Okay? You ever there in the candy store with your kids, and your kids are, taking some candy and they take a piece to try. I don't know if I want 5 pieces of it. I just want to try it first. Can't do that, right? Ever lie about being sick to your boss so you could do something more fun, right? Or ever lie just because you just didn't want to go to work that day? Okay? Ever break something expensive and lie about it? And remember, as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult, ever do any of those things? I know a specific story. I was a freaking adult and I did it. I was an adult and I did it. And I'll tell it to you. I'll flat out tell it to you. I don't remember. I was in my 20s, okay? And my brother had a motorcycle. And I was keeping it in my garage. I was working on one of my mini bikes, go-karts at the time. And I got true story, so frustrated. I couldn't get this part off. It just wouldn't come off. And I had a screwdriver in my hand, a Phillips head screwdriver, and I threw it on the floor crazy hard, like you guys throw your mouse across the room, you know what I mean, when you want to break it when you're a trader. I threw the screwdriver. It bounced off the floor, hit the wall, and it literally tumbled. I don't know how many backflips this screwdriver did, and went straight down into his motorcycle seat. Straight, boom, put a nice big old hole right in his motorcycle seat. And when he asked me, how'd that happen? I lied through my teeth, okay? Lied. Like a little baby, lied, okay? Because I didn't want to confront the reality of the situation. The reality was I was frustrated. I had a moment of weakness and threw a screwdriver that bounced off God knows how many things and broke the seat or put a hole in the seat. We ever done that when you were a kid? We're an adult. Yeah. You ever scratch something or scrape something and try to blame it on somebody else? Ever get into a car accident you knew was your fault and you told the officer it wasn't your fault? You ever get a speeding ticket and just look the officer? I don't know how fast I was going. You know damn well how fast you were going. Okay? We do this every day of our lives in some capacity. But the problem is we look at this and we say, well, it's just a small little lie. It's not that big of a deal. But what the problem with this is we do it enough that what happens? What happens? We get comfortable with it. You see, it's that phrase, if you take an inch, you take a mile, right? Give them an inch, they take a mile. The reason is you start to get too comfortable with it because you're justifying it. And that is where the problem comes in. You see, there is no justifying this in trading. There's no justification. There's only integrity. Okay? You see, if you lie about, your speeding ticket or something, maybe you get off. Maybe you tell the officer a good story and you get off, and maybe your insurance premium doesn't get raised, or you don't want points in your license, whatever it is. Maybe that works for you. But it will not work in trading. Because that phrase, this is where it comes from. Don't spend that money. The market wants it back. You see, you might be able to lie to the market one day and cheat on your plan, your trading plan. Have no integrity. You cheat on your trading plan. You might get away with it that day. And you win the battle, but you will lose the war. And then what happens to you once you lose the war? You've blown up your trading account, or you choose to go back to your job and quit trading. You tell everybody, it wasn't you. It's trading that's the problem. You're not the problem. I'm not the problem. Trading is the problem. Trading is just gambling. And you sit there and you go, wait a second. You lacked integrity, which is why you failed. But now because you lack integrity, you're still lying to people about it. Because once you lie once, you'll lie twice. And once you lie twice, you'll lie forever. Integrity matters. It matters a lot. Okay? And I'll be honest, I am not judging you. I've done pretty much every one of these things on this list. At some point in my life, I am sure I've probably done every one of these things on the list. Okay? The question is, can you catch yourself from doing it again? All right? None of those things work in trading. Your trading salvation is between you and the market. You know how when you go to, for those of you that are religious out there, they say your salvation is between you and the Lord, you and God. Well, your trading salvation is between you and the market and no one else. Because you can lie to me, and you can lie to your spouse, and you can lie to your friends, but you can't lie to the market. You can't. The market knows everything you've done. It's seen everything you've done. You can't cheat the market. You can't talk your way out of it. And you can't hide from it. All of those things you can kind of do in life, right? You can. You can cheat on a test to get into college, right? You can talk your way out of a ticket, and maybe you can hide from, I don't know, something bad you've done. But you cannot do any of these things in the market. The market knows and sees all. It's a fly on the wall right on your shoulder, okay? Trading against the karmic trading plan will create negative karmic consequences. Well, it just creates consequences. Call it karma, call it what you want, but you are not free from the consequences, right? So, you don't have a boss in trading, but you do have a master. An all-knowing and very forgiving master. Yes, the market is actually very forgiving. You see, most of the time, we curse the market when something bad happens, when we stop out on a trade, right? But that was our fault. We took the trade. Maybe we didn't use a stop loss that was good enough. All right? Maybe we were unlucky. It doesn't matter. The beautiful part about your master, the market, is your master will give you a chance to make it better with the next trade, the next day, the next week. The law won't, right? You mess up enough times and you're going to go to jail or something's going to happen, you'll get divorced, whatever. The market is actually a very forgiving place to play. All right? So, confess your sins and make it right. or suffer the consequences. Now, again, that sounds so cliche. It really does sound so cliche, but it's the truth. Look in the mirror. Go get your little baby Buddha doll and confess your sins. And this is not a joke. Some of you guys are probably laughing. Here he goes. I'm not kidding. Confess it. Look at your trading plan. Look at your trading results and go, I messed up. I did this. No one else did this to me. I did this to myself. No one forced me to do it. Just because Jared called the trade, I took it. It's my trade. I own that trade. Come on, man. How often do you guys come in here and when I lose 2 trades in a row, or maybe even 3 trades in a row, it's like, yeah, man, I had a crappy day, but you know what? Honestly, Jared did too, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's only okay if you followed your trading plan. Yeah, well, misery loves company, so at least he had a bad day too. At least he had a bad day too? What kind of attitude is that? You should be wishing everyone else well. Why? Because we've all been on both sides of those days, right? We've all had a good day and a bad day. And on the bad day, you want the whole world to cry at your feet and go, we're so sorry you had a bad day, Jordan. We're so sorry, man. For some reason, we just love sympathy and empathy. And when you have a good day, you want the whole world to know about it too, how great you are. See, when you have the bad day, you want everyone to feel bad for you and how unlucky you were. But when you have a good day, you want everyone to know how good you were. We are very, very arrogant, egotistical beings. It's pathetic, really. But the problem is that none of that works in the market, right? It just doesn't work in the market. So to fix it, you need to get a mirror and you need to stare at it. And you need to find out, whenever that person is looking back at you, why you did what you did, right? What is causing you to do this? Because at the end of the day, the lack of integrity is going to cost you money. Lots of money. Okay? So ask yourself, what is integrity in trading? It's doing the right thing when you're supposed to do it, regardless of the emotional pain. That's it. Write it down. Put it on your wall. Blow it up. Get a poster of it. Right? Go to Vistaprint and literally get like an 8-foot-long poster of this. Doing the right thing when you're supposed to do it, and here's the kicker, regardless of the emotional pain. Yes, it's painful to follow your plan at times. The other day I broke my plan. We were in Meta. I think it was Meta, or was it Microsoft? One of those two. It came like 10 cents from stopping us out. Came all the way back to break even. I sold half my shares. What did the stock do? It kept on ripping, went to Target. I went to Target with half my shares. The emotional pain was too great for me. I thought to myself, well, at least I'll mitigate. My thought process, which lacked integrity, was if it works, I'll still make a little bit of money, and if it stops, I'll only lose half as much. I thought, oh, baby, I got the market bracketed in right now, don't I? I am mitigating. I am bargaining. Bargaining with my trading plan. There is no bargaining with your plan. Your plan's the plan, and your plan's the plan for a reason. Because if you've done it properly, you've gone back and looked at what the most profitable management is that you can actually follow on the types of trades you're supposed to be taking that gives you the best result. Therefore, if you've done that when you're cool, calm, and collected without any emotional pain or stress, why then would you change when you're under emotional pain and stress? Think about it. People make bad decisions when they're under emotional duress. They do. You ever heard the term, you're not thinking clearly? Let's just give it some time to sort things out. Your head's not right. That's you in the middle of a trade. Your head's not right. Leave it alone. So in trading, this is the true difference between winning and losing in the long run. You're going to beat your plan once in a while on a day or a week or even a month. You will. You will. You'll break your plan and you'll beat it sometimes. But over the course of 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 2 years, you will not beat it. It will beat you every time. And then you'll be looking for that second job, okay? Integrity, taking your stop losses, letting your trades run to target, not chasing or having FOMO. This is a tough one. Tell me I'm wrong. Bad days, you take more trades. I'm guilty of it. A good day, if I go winner, winner, chicken dinner, I usually stop. If I go loser, loser, I suck, I keep on trading. Why? FOMO. Got to get that money back. Most of the time, what do? Lose more money. It's the worst thing you can do. Only take trades that are in your plan, right? Most traders fail because they lack integrity. At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. You not following your plan, that lacks integrity. You not letting your stock hit a target lacks integrity. Not taking a stop loss lacks integrity. Over trading lacks integrity. If you truly, truly want what's best for you, right? You want what's best for you, your life, your family, your kids, whomever, then you need to have some integrity because you won't get those things without it. Whether you want to admit it or not, it takes consequences for most people to show integrity. It does. Can we even call that integrity? Probably not. Because if you need a consequence to have integrity, it's not really integrity, it's forced. It's forced integrity, which isn't really integrity, is it? Meaning, look at it this way. It's the best analogy I can give you. If you tell somebody, my word is my bond, and you shake on it, but then you say, oh, I forget. And they go, well, thank goodness because I wrote it down on paper. That's not integrity. Right? You shook on it and said, my word's my bond. Well, if you got into that trade and said, I'm going to follow my plan, and the only reason you followed it is because you're not going to play golf for a month, that's not really integrity, is it? Think about it. If you're forced to do it because the alternative is worse, it's not really integrity, right? You only did it because the alternative is worse. Now, I'm of the belief whatever it takes, right? I think you should have consequences because whatever it takes, right? In trading, short-term joy leads to long-term pain. This is the truth. This is the truth. Break your plan today, win the battle today, lose the war tomorrow or next month. And in the long run, it's more painful. That one night with Halle Berry in the elevator, it's not worth it in the long run. Don't get to see your kids, got to split half your assets. It's not worth it. Short-term joy leads to long-term pain. It does. Deal with it. Grow up. Accept it. Okay? It's not just knowing what is right or wrong. Most of us do that. It's doing what is right. Remember, you guys hear me say this a lot. Don't tell me what you think. Show me what you do. You've heard me say it. Don't tell me what you think. Show me what you do. Okay? So most of us know what's right and wrong. Doing it, that's a whole nother question. Okay? So, the craziest part about integrity, having it makes us more money. Think about that. Really internalize that one. The craziest part about integrity in trading is that having and using integrity makes us more money. Huh? Most of the time in life, having integrity is a pain point, right? Hey, I messed up. I am sorry. I'll pay for that. I broke it. That's a pain point, right? You did something wrong. Now you're paying for doing something wrong, but at least you're showing the integrity to do the right thing. Doing the right thing in trading makes you more money. But yet we don't do it. In life, sometimes having integrity is painful, right? Not doing something shading that could further your career. Lying to get what we want. Getting caught, right? Cheating on a spouse and getting caught, right? Sometimes having integrity can be very painful. But think, if you had integrity to begin with, you wouldn't have to be in this position. Yes, there will be some pain points in trading. You'll follow your plan to the letter of the law and you'll lose 5 trades in a row. And you'll be like, oh, right? Oh. In trading, it's the exact opposite, right? Having the integrity to do the right thing as is laid out in your trading plan actually makes you significantly more money. Okay? Some of you have seen this and remember this from professional trading strategies. This is what integrity looks like and doesn't look like. Again, some of you have seen this from professional trading strategies. This is a trader, actual trader. This is old, man. This is over 10 years old. Someone sent this to me, okay? And they were asking me for advice. Actual P&L, that's pretty obvious, made $694. Trading plan P&L, had they followed it, made $6,400. It's a $5,700 difference. This is basically the person telling me, Jared, this is what I actually made this month. But had I followed my plan, this is what I would have made. And they were so disgusted with themselves that they sent this to me. They said, look, I need to figure this out. And you know why I bring this up, guys? I mean it. Why I bring it up? Because this is real. Not because it's somebody's, because this is really an indication, not an indication, but this is basically you guys. Perhaps not on this level where it's 10x, but this is you guys. How often, be honest with me for a moment, have any of you guys in here ever said, be honest, have you ever said, gosh, if I could just follow my plan, I'd probably be able to quit my day job and do trading full time? Have you ever said that? Gosh, if I could just follow my plan, I would have made 5 times more money last month. If I could just follow my plan, I would have doubled my trading income. I would say at some point in every trader's career, they have probably uttered those words to some effect. If. And it usually starts with, if I could stop selling too soon. If I would just take my stop losses. If I would just follow my plan. Right? If. This is why I said a few slides ago, it's likely the difference between success and failure in this business. This person clearly and obviously is taking trades that provide money, that result in making money, but they're not maximizing those gains. They're not following their trading plan. So there's 2 problems here. 1, they're not following their plan, and 2, perhaps their plan maybe isn't right for them. This comes down to, hey, I need integrity, but I can make the integrity easier on myself if I use baby steps. You guys love my analogy. You guys are way too young for this, Jordan and everybody else, but Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Nintendo. You start with Glass Joe, man. You don't start with Mike Tyson. You're not ready for Mike when you first start the game. Well, in trading, you're not ready for the perfect management. You don't even know what it is yet because you're new. You haven't figured that out yet. But my point is there's definitely a space between the actual P&L and the trading plan. There's a space here, a pretty large gap here where you can baby step your way up to making that $6,000 a month that they should be making. Right? But even that requires integrity. Okay? One of the ways you can help yourself with integrity is pilots and checklists. You guys know I like to fly. Every time you leave the ground, see, most of you don't notice it because when you get on a commercial airplane, it's done for you. It's why perhaps you pay to be on the plane. But anytime you go on any airplane in the world, I don't care if it's a military aircraft, I don't care if it's a private aircraft or a commercial aircraft. There's a checklist they go through. They'll do a visual inspection of the plane. Then they'll do an electronics inspection. Okay, and depending if it's commercial or not, they'll check the whole cabin, blah, 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 blah. And this takes a little while, right, to go through your checklist, pilots and checklists. Now, why? 1, why do they have them? And 2, are you glad they have them? Well, I think we know why they have them. For safety. Because, well, if you're wrong or something goes wrong and you didn't check that, the consequence is significant. You see, when you lose a trade, you might lose $5, 500, 5,000, 50,000, but you don't lose your life. And your life hopefully is worth more than any of those numbers I just said. Okay? So you have pilots and checklists, and they take those checklists very, very seriously. Okay? Yes, even military pilots. All right? When you see a fighter pilot, they will absolutely spend an hour walking around that plane looking at things. I know enough fighter pilots to know this is true. Okay? So they have them to keep them safe. Think of that word, safe, because it's the same thing in trading. You have a checklist, pre-trade checklist. You have a trading plan to keep you safe. The market is a dangerous place to play. But if you have a checklist, you can mitigate that danger, right? And, of course, you need to follow it, right? Jeff Yates says this a lot. I don't know where he got it, but I love it. Most people do what's inspected, not what's expected. You see, this is the problem. This is where integrity meets the road. You see, when you go to an office job, your boss will inspect what you do. Someone will, whether you have a yearly audit or a review, whatever. Guess what? No one does this for you in trading. No one does this for you in trading. Okay? No one does this for you in trading. And if they do, it's because you asked them to do it. No one inspects your work. So, doing what's expected takes integrity. Back to that word again. So what kind of person are you? Right? To know and not do is to not know. Right? What kind of person are you? Do you have integrity? Don't say it. Show me. Don't tell me what you think. Show me what you do. Okay? Pay the price. Pay the price. When I choose my own comfort or convenience instead of stepping forward and risking the consequences, I am compromising the one thing in life I have 100% control over, my integrity. If I am willing to compromise my integrity just because of a little discomfort, inconvenience, or pain, then I need to rethink how I think about myself. I'm not a person of integrity. I'm someone who takes the least path of resistance in favor of an easier life. Is that you? Everyone says no to this, but yet their lives prove otherwise. Yep, I'm a 9 to 5. How? I hear this shit all the time, and nothing bothers me more. That's not my job. If you ever want to work for me, don't ever utter those words. That's not my job. Don't ever utter those words. Ever. Everything's your job. If you want to get ahead in life, everything's your job. Okay? Every day, I have to make choices between compromising my integrity or facing the consequences of choosing my integrity. Some days the consequences are small, so the decision to do the right thing is easy. Read that again. Some days the consequences are small, so the decision to do the right thing is easy. But on the rare days the consequences are truly large. All the previous small integrity tests I face will prepare me for the big challenge. This is why not having integrity on a small scale lacks integrity on a large scale. I must be in the habit of ignoring the voice in my head that tells me to take the easy way out in those smaller challenges. So my habit of integrity will prepare me for the bigger challenges in life that are sure to come. Living with integrity is hard. That is why so few people actually do it well. Acting with integrity when I have nothing to lose is not integrity, it's pragmatism. I want to live my life to a higher standard than pragmatism. Dave Anderson. Imagine how much easier life would feel if you just stopped instantly believing every thought that went through your mind. Guys, integrity takes work, right? Integrity is something you work at, right? It's something that's a daily challenge. It's okay. It's okay to admit that was hard. You don't have to feel like you're not Mother Teresa if you admit having integrity is hard sometimes. It's okay to admit that. The only thing that really matters is, did you have integrity? You can admit, man, that was really, really hard for me to walk into that room and tell the entire room I was sorry because I was wrong. I know it's the right thing to do, but I'm not going to lie, it was hard for me to do that. It's okay to say, gosh, Cliff's trade yesterday. We were 8 cents from our target, and I stuck with it, and we got out at break even because that was integrity. That was the right thing to do per my plan. But I'm not going to lie to you, it was hard for me to do that. But I did it anyway. It's okay to say integrity is hard. Just do it. As long as you have it, it's okay to admit that it was challenging. There's no shame in that game, right? Fomo is not integrity, right? Pilots and checklists. Not having a checklist or not following it is no integrity. You're not taking a 4-bar play here after 5 bars up. You're not taking a 3-bar play here after 4 or 5 weeks up. You know the rules. Follow them. If you don't have the checklist, then find it. That's integrity too, not having your checklist in front of you. Don't make excuses for your shortcomings. Figure out why you're doing it and fix it. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row. And on the 8th day was a big time gap. 15% gap. Pilots and checklists, man. Not having a checklist or not following it is no integrity. This is not a 4-bar play, 3-bar play. Not at all. Don't take it. That's integrity, not taking it. Lacking integrity is taking it. Right? That's integrity. Wide range bar, breaks above resistance. Narrow range resting bar, rip. Rip. Entry, stop, and target. That's integrity. Every trade has this. Every trade has this. Not following this simplistic approach lacks integrity. And you're sitting there going, we know all this, Jared. Well, then why don't you do it? That's really what we're talking about here. Yeah, I know. No, you don't. To know and not do is to not know. That lacks integrity. This is very old. My goodness, this is like 4 or 5 years old. This lacks integrity. Would you want a pilot flying over your family to say these things? I'm going to have a heart attack. I don't know what to do. This is literally what this person is saying. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm down 2,000. I don't know what to do. Hold or cut losses. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Your plan knows what to do. Follow it. This isn't trading. This is gambling. This lacks integrity. This is not integrity. Okay? This over here, right there, okay? When you look at this, this lacks integrity, right? When you look at the actual P&L versus the trading plan, it lacks integrity. The positive here is the future is bright if you can find some integrity, right? Because, look, you still made money. Okay, that's positive. Look how much money you would have made had you followed your plan and had integrity. Wow, a lot. So at least you're doing something right. Take some solace in that. But I would never want my pilot ever to say, let's go back and read it. I'm going to have a heart attack. I don't know what to do. That's never the answer. I don't know what to do is never the answer. Because if it is, it's sit on hands. That's the answer. If that's the question, I don't know what to do, the answer is sit on hands. Okay? You're correct, Yaroslav. You are responsible for those thoughts. All right? This is integrity. The pattern, that is not integrity getting out here. Your target is here and you get out here, that lacks integrity. If your target is really here and you get out here, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. That lacks integrity. I give Cliff a lot of credit, right? This is an example of me lacking integrity. I raised my stop and got tagged at 30.01. Only to watch it hit target, broke my plan. Don't be an idiot. I lost $400 on a trade that hit target. A trade I should have made 1,000 on, I lost 400 on. That isn't funny in any way, shape, or form. It's not funny. Right? It happens. I don't like this big red bar coming in. See it? It triggers. It goes higher. I'm like, oh, this looks good. We pop 40 cents. It comes all the way back. What's it do? Oh, baby, right there at the hole, and then boom. Boom, goes $1.50. I was an idiot. This lacks integrity. It's a $1,400 difference, minus 400 versus plus 1,000. This is what a lack of integrity looks like. Don't do it. Learn from it once. Don't do it again. Okay? Not going to get into that. So, how do you help your integrity? It's not always easy to do the right thing, right? What can we do to help foster more integrity? Well, develop a consequence system that'll help you keep you on the straight and narrow. Keep your trading plan and your trade management very simple, right? You don't want to be caught somewhere going, I don't really know what to do here. I'm confused. If you're ever confused, it's when in doubt, stay out. That's it. That's a line in your trading plan. If you're ever confused and you're really not sure, there's some gray area, when in doubt, stay out. Videotape yourself trading while trading and replay it. Watch it with somebody else. Put one of those Logitech Brios right on top of your monitor. Video yourself trading. Get OBS, Open Broadcast System. It's free. Download it. Get a Logitech. What are they? $50 to $100. Videotape, video record yourself trading. Put a microphone in front of you so you can hear everything you do. Have an accountability partner, spouse, a friend, a trading buddy. Someone's going to go through these things with you. Say, look, man, you're not doing this right. Let's fix it. I'll help you fix it, right? Trade in an office with other traders, right? With P&L on the big screen. Do that, right? Ultimately, you have to make the decision to do the right thing. No one will force it on you. How badly you want the freedom, the flexibility that this lifestyle of trading affords? How do you think this person feels? Really, I want you to think for a moment. How do you think that person feels? 600 versus 6,000. That's the difference between this being a side gig and a full-time job. That's the difference between this being a side hustle and a full-time job. And you know what the difference also is? Nothing. The time doesn't change. You're still going to sit there for the same amount of time. Might as well make 10 times more money. Might as well make 10 times more money if you're going to be there for the same amount of time. That's the way I look at it. And when we come down to these things that we just talked about, one of the best things you can do, as Cliff is saying, join a coaching group. You're going to have 20, 30, 50, 100 other people in there looking at your stuff and having your back. Why? Because they want to help you. They're not going to sit there and lambaste and chastise you. They want to help you. Join a coaching group. Get a trading buddy. But don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. What do they call that? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? Insanity? Something like that. Okay? Take the quiz. Are you nervous, stressed, fearful? Do you obsessively focus on every single bar? Ask yourself these questions. Right? Ask yourself these questions. I'm going to go through it quickly. Is your trading desk cluttered with sticky notes on your monitors? Are you a mess? Do you randomly take trades without having a plan? Do you take more trades on down days? Answer these, okay? Ask yourself those questions and then kind of figure out where you are for your trading. Why? Because you might be able to tweak your approach. You might say, you know what? I'm more of a scalper than a long-term trader. I'm more of a patient person, long-term trader than a scalper, so I'm going to tweak my trading plan to match my personality style. Right? And then you're going to have to just get serious. If you really believe trading is a viable way to make a living and that technical charts provide you with an edge in the marketplace, then why do you do these things? Because you don't really believe. That's the answer. I'm getting right ahead of you. Because you don't really believe. And you're never going to have integrity if you don't really believe. If you don't actually believe that holding your trade to target and taking stop losses is a viable way to make a living and make money in this business, then you're never going to do it. So you have to get to that belief point. And yes, like anything in life, there's trust before belief. You have to trust before you believe, or basically you have to believe before you trust, right? You have to. Guys, for those of you, again, I know I use a lot of different analogies, but for those of you that like race cars, okay, Quick analogy. You guys will notice many race cars, especially Formula One cars, they have big wings on them, don't they, in the front and the back. Those wings hold the car on the ground. Yes, it's called aerodynamics. There's what they call the aero zone when you're racing cars, and it's pure trust. It's pure trust. You go into a corner, and you fully expect there is no way in God's green earth this car is going to stick through this corner at this speed. And you have to trust that the aerodynamics have your back. And guess what? The very first time you do it, it scares you shitless. You're sitting there going, there is no way that I am not hitting that wall right now. What happens? You go through the corner. And you go, oh my gosh, how did that happen? And then you do it again and again and again. And then it becomes a habit. And now you don't question the arrow. You trust it. But you had to believe before you trusted. Right? You had to believe before you trusted. Okay? So when you look at it, it's challenging. That's the whole idea. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. But most people lack integrity. Okay? Look. It's not a joke, man. I put this stuff in here because I think it's funny, but this is not a joke. No trading integrity? Get used to it. Get used to your boss yelling at you, talking down to you. Get used to the nice rush hour traffic. Get used to living a crappier lifestyle. Get used to these things because this is what you can expect more of. There's a reason that you want to be a trader. And I'm guessing it has a lot to do with not wanting to do some of these things on the screen. You don't want to hit rush hour traffic. You don't want to be talked down to. You want a nicer car, a nicer home. You want more freedom, flexibility, time, whatever. There's a reason you chose this. If your life was perfect and you were, no one's life is perfect. If you were very content with your life, you wouldn't be looking to be a trader because you're like, oh, my life's awesome. Awesome, it's wonderful. But there's something missing, which is why you're looking to be a trader. Okay? Don't wish for it. Work for it. Don't wish for it. Work for it. Nothing's going to happen if you sit there and wish for it. You got to work for it. Look at that little ant getting that done. Come on. Look how hard he's working. She's working. It's working. They, them, us, we, them. Working. Okay? Rolling the stone up the hill. It's hard work. But guess what? Very few people are willing to do it. They talk about wanting to do it, but very few people actually do it. I'll repeat that part. A lot of people talk about wanting to do it. Very few people actually do it. I have an uncle who talks like that all the time. He's never done anything with it. Oh well. So, do the right thing because it's right, not because someone is watching you. You're only hurting yourself. Now, I agree, they may need to watch you at first, right? They may need to because that's going to help you have integrity. But at the end of the day, you should ultimately do the right thing because it's the right thing, because it's better for you, right? Because it's better for you. Guys, there's so many examples of doing the right thing in life, and we choose the wrong thing. Example, going to the gym. Oh, I don't have enough time. Yes, you do. It's just not high enough on your priority list. You have enough time not to go, which means you have enough time to go. Eating. You know what? Holy smokes, I have a meeting in like 22 minutes. Gosh, you know what? Just stop at McDonald's. It's just quick. It's a quickie. No, don't. Either don't eat or stop somewhere that's healthy. Show some integrity. The easy way out is not going to help you. You're going to be tested. Anybody that's successful in life will tell you that. They've been tested. And it hurts sometimes. It's hard. Not saying it's going to be easy. But if you want to be something, really something in life, I mean special, different, not the average person, you're going to have to do these things. You're going to have to step up. You're going to have to show up every day. Every single day, even the days when you want to stay in bed and you want to curse the world. It's hard, man. But I guarantee you, if you do it, good things will happen. You will improve your life. You will be a happier person for it. Just the sense of self-accomplishment alone will make you feel better. And then not just the self-accomplishment, but you'll look around and go, wow, my family has a better life. I get to spend more time with my kids. All of those things will be better for you because you showed integrity. All right? It's a very real thing. The problem with this real thing is people do things for short periods of time and then they give up on them because they're too damn hard. They go to the gym every January and by February, March, half the people are gone. Medical school first day, there's 500 kids in your class. Medical school 3 years later, there's 30 kids in your class. Why? Because it's too damn hard. You want to know why the 1%'s the 1%? Because it's too damn hard. You can sit there and give me your line of horse shit all day long. Oh, it's because I didn't have the opportunity that so-and-so, and I didn't have this, and I didn't have that. There's that victim mentality again. It's not helpful at all. Every person on the planet can be a better person than they are today if they truly want to be. Every person. Now, for one person, that might be becoming Bill Gates. For another person, that might be, I don't know, making an extra $1 an hour. But they can be better than they are today. It's just hard. It's challenging. So with that, and I'll end on this, you have to find joy in the process. You have to find joy in the journey. If you do not find joy in the journey, yes, even the painful things, even the setbacks, if you don't find some form of joy in the journey, you'll never be great at anything. Ever. Not ever. This does not mean that every day is strawberries and cream. But if you can't find some joy in the process, the outcome won't matter because you're probably never going to get there. And if you do, you're not going to be very happy. Exactly. You have to embrace the grind. Guys, life is beautiful. We are very fortunate. If you're listening to me here today, you have a fortunate life. You do. There's people out there that have it way worse than you. Embrace that. Don't be a waste of talent, so to speak, right? Recognize and understand that you have a good life. Make the best and most of it. And try, by you making your life the best it can be, will hopefully have a positive impact on making other people's lives the best it can be. I mean that. The better you can be, you're going to bring people along with you. I guarantee it. Whether it's your spouse or your family or friends, they're going to come along for the ride. So you've helped other people by helping yourself. It's a win-win. But it's going to be challenging. There will be days that you curse the world. It's okay. Keep grinding. All right. So with that, I hope that you guys will show some more integrity going forward. And that integrity will, in turn, make you a better trader and ultimately give you the things that you're working so hard to have. All right? I'm Jared Wesley of Live Traders. We'll get back at it again next week.